for some reason Dota displays the kill count very prominently in the game, as if it were the score in a game of football or some sort of similar sport. But unlike these sports, the kill count in Dota, especially in the early game, is a pretty meaningless metric that's only really modestly correlated with winning, as we're going to see in this game.
My holiness deepens.
Welcome to the Church of Obelisk. This is game 4 between Nigma and Secret from the recent Mad Moon tournament, and we're in the finals right now. It's 2-1 for Secret right now, and Nigma get 3 runes here, but KuroKy decides to poke forward a little bit here, and is going to get it run at here from 3 heroes, and Mind Control right away knows he can't really do anything here, so he's just going to go and get down here because that's where he wants to be. They're playing this very unfavorable lane here. They have Underlord against Slark, and that's a matchup that's not really playable. So he's just gonna go here and cut this wave. And meanwhile, KuroKy TP'd back. He's bought a sentry ward and extra tangos from his rune gold. Mind Control here, trying to get those creeps, but he's only getting 1 creep here, and now he's eventually going to die. As soon as KuroKy sees that the supports from Secret are down there, he goes and contests this lane, because of course 1v1 against Slark, you can lane quite well. Kuro wants to do this pull. He hit this right when the clock strikes 119, and that is a perfect pull. So when you have these very unfavorable matchups, especially in the off lane, the worst thing you can possibly do is just sit back and play passively and just accept that you're not getting any farm. That is not what you want to do. Instead, you just want to do anything you can to disrupt the equilibrium. You want to do things like cutting the wave. You want to throw your life away if you have to get some farm. So right now they still have this favorable lane equilibrium. The lane's close to the tower. The wave is pushing in here, so now you can do the last hitting lane normally, but as soon as it's no longer the case, it's going to get very dangerous. And now the equilibrium is quite bad for Nigma, so going forward here is quite dangerous. And indeed, we have Yapsa coming in, gets the toss back, and that is going to be a very dead Underlord. He's going to use his Firestorm, do some damage here onto the Slark or onto this Tiny, but eventually it's going to die. And all they got was a little bit of damage, and of course there's still a self here on this Slark, as well as a couple of tangos here on Tiny. Kuro sticks around here a little bit too long. Honestly, this is quite unnecessary here. He gets tossed back, and he's also going to die. And both these deaths are not really very necessary. I talked about earlier about how you want to risk death to get farm, but you don't want to get stupid here. As long as this Tiny is still running around here in this lane, you can always just get a toss back and get a kill. But despite these somewhat unnecessary deaths, they're still not doing too badly. If you look at where Underlord is in terms of net worth and compare him to the offlaner on Secret, to Zai's Darkseer, he's doing a lot better. And Zai has literally 1 CS that he just got. Like, this Darkseer is doing even worse than Underlord, so this is completely fine, this situation here. You can see, even though it's 5-1, we actually see a slight net worth lead here on Nigma, and since Underlord died twice here, it has to be recalled by Chen, but that's one of the perks of having a Chen on your team. Yapso comes in here again and tries to get a toss off, but he doesn't quite get it. And again, Puppy's outside of range, so they don't get this toss back, and Yapsa eats a lot of damage. Some jungling going on here. They can't really contest this lane right now, it's too far back, so jungling is the best they can do, and it's going to get both of them level 3, which is very important, and it's going to allow them to at least do something in lane when you have at least this level 2 Firestorm. Kuro is going to do some dewarding here. He suspects that the ward is up here, but he's going to put the sentry down here. He already has vision up this cliff, so there's no need to put the sentry up here. Same as if you have some sort of ability that allows you to see high ground. you just put the sentry a little bit further out, and then you also see walls that are placed somewhere here or here. Right now MC is once again cutting the wave. Meanwhile Kuro is just getting what farm he can here, staying nearby so he may get some of the experience here from this wave, but staying out of vision. And he's just using what creeps he can get. These are not the best creeps he can get, but they're better than nothing. And here KuroKy is going to pick up Mind Control's bottle, nice little efficiency play. And MC, having once again died, is going to get recalled by Chen, and then he can hand him the bottle. Of course, using the bottle here to fill it up from the fountain region. Oh, but actually passing it, oh, okay, it's fine. I thought for a moment it was too late, but actually it's filled up. A couple of minutes of feeding and farming later, we see Kuro almost level 5. He just needs those little centaur courses, and then he can take over this big centaur. That's what he does, and he's level 5 and takes over the centaur. And if you look right now, it's 10-4. Huge advantage for Secret. They got so many kills, but if you look at the net worth, Nigma is still ahead. Why is that the case? And the primary reason lies in the side lanes. We have this Miracle Lifestealer who is quite a bit ahead of Matumbaman's Slag. He's 1k ahead as well as a full level, even though Miracle hasn't had any kills and Matumbaman has 5 kills. And the reason for that is that Matumbaman has been fighting a lot. Yes, he's got those kills, but that also meant that he missed a lot of last hits, lost a lot of time, and this just meant that this Lifestealer from Miracle just had more farm, he got the tower, and he's just ahead. And even if you look at the other heroes here, KuroKy is actually doing quite well in terms of net worth. He's actually has more net worth than Poppy, more net worth than Sai, and about as much net worth as Yapso. And if you look at Mind Control, he's also far ahead of Sai, and in terms of net worth, they're actually doing really well. Kuro has just been hanging out around the mid lane, and even as Chen position 5, it's completely fine to do some farming. Being position 5 doesn't mean that you never get to farm. In fact, it's quite valuable to have some of your supports sit in a lane for a while and just get some experience. And that's what they've been doing here. But now they want to go for a smoke, they want to take back their jungle. They see this Tiny taking this outpost, and in fact they run into the Staxia before then. They're just going to stun him, stomp him, and that is a very dead Daxia. Tiny showing in the mid lane, so Nigma want to fight here. They have this pretty good Chen army. They have Weehouse, of course, very strong at this stage of the game. They don't quite get the stun here on Tiny, so he kind of gets away here, gets saved by Oracle, and nothing really dies here, except for a courier, which actually had a lot of items, so that's rather unfortunate. But on the plus side, Nigma is still completely healthy, so they can just go into this Roshan pit, because they have this Slada as well as, of course, this Lifestealer, who has Armlet Deso, of course, one of the strongest Roche builds here. So they can do this very quickly, and so you could have to react here. So they have Matumbaman hanging around here, but you can't quite commit here. They drop the Daxia wall into the Roshan pit, force Nigma back a little bit, but Roshan is still too high health for anyone to really take comfortably here. So they just head back a little bit. They don't really want to fight inside the Roshan pit with this wall. So they head back here, go for a smoke, and try to see if they can catch someone off guard here. And they find Zai. Zai gets stomped up and gets killed very easily here. Use the Yules, and that's a kill. Miracle claiming that by popping out of the infest, and now it's back into Roshan. So they just hit this Roshan, and it just goes quite quickly. Stay outside in the pit here with GH and KuroKy, only having 2 heroes inside, so they can always react if the enemy wants to fight. But in fact, Secret decide that they can no longer fight here, and they just let Nigma have the Aegis. Kuro is being a bit stingy with his ice armors. You can definitely hand those out whenever you can. Just give them to all your heroes, especially if you have 2 Frost Ogres. You're basically never going to run out of mana. Kuro still has this nice team of creeps, and now he's actually even handing out his ice armors properly. Very good, Kuro. And now he sees this Alpha Wolf, which he's not going to take, but I think he should. Doing so would mean giving up one of his centaurs because that's his first creep. But what he could also do is send one of those frost mages into the ancients, have it die off, and then take over the Alpha Wolf, which of course would take more time. But either way, I think it would be stronger to get an Alpha Wolf because that creep at this stage of the game is just much stronger than a centaur. Nigma going for a smoke, they want to reclaim the jungle, they see some heroes here, and they find Nisha farming on his own, but they see Matumberman coming in, nice chain stunning here from Nigma, but unfortunately Snark is a little bit too slippery, slips away, and we are running in here together with GH, and nothing is really dying so far, but now they're on top of Puppy or GH is, and GH is going to chase him down. Nisha TP's home, and even though he actually bought a salve, he's still going to die. So a pretty big win here for Nigma, and now they're just going to push their advantage. This tower falls incredibly quickly thanks to this Desolator on Miracle as well as this Catawave, and now it's onto the high ground, and very importantly they only have Miracle really hitting here. Chen is going to stay behind with his creeps, he's going to hand out those frost armors, and he's going to keep those creeps safe. Miracle can stay at the front line, he's quite tanky, he has the Aegis, he's incredibly farmed, so he can do this, but if you just run in with the creeps here, they're just going to die for nothing. So this is very safe way of going high ground here from Nigma, and that is exactly what he will do in this stage of the game. You see a course sitting close behind him, and then the support sitting a bit farther back, and now that they got this kill on the racks, they immediately retreat. Very disciplined play, very nicely done from Nigma. Aegis is just worn off, but they're still in a strong position here on Nigma, so they want to push the advantage. Secret is frankly not quite prepared yet, they have a lot of heroes out on the map, so this tower is almost down by the time they come in here, but they come in here from behind, very smartly done here. Matsu tries to go for Chen, but Chen is actually quite tanky here thanks to all the healing he gets from his abilities and from that pipe from mind control. And right now he still has his creeps alive, and he's not committing with these creeps right now. He's just waiting here on the outskirts and has his team do all the heavy lifting here. These creeps, you don't want to commit them right now, but now is the time most of the heroes are dead in retreat, and now you can come in here and stun this Oracle. They get this Oracle kill, and then again creep to retreat. He loses one creep here, but the rest is still alive, and he can just retreat with those. Matsu doesn't quite have what it takes to kill those, and Matsu now going in here a bit too deep and actually just gets killed. So now Secret and full retreat. They're trying to get out here with the Zai, but whatever they can do here, it's not really working. They have to buy back on Matsu, and they have to retreat again, and Miracle's just too strong at this stage of the game. There's just nothing here from Secret to stop him, and this is going to be pretty much to the end of the game. It's going to be going on for like another 2 minutes or something like that, but at this stage of the game there's really nothing they can do. They go for this desperation toss back here, but this only sets up the Slithering Crush, and nothing's really dying on Nigma. So Nigma are going to claim this game, and spoiler alert, eventually going to win this tournament. If you want to see more content on Chen, on various other micro heroes, subscribe to this channel and ring the bell. And we're going to leave you with these other videos, which you can check out at your convenience. And Obelisk willing, I will see you there.